All right, let's just get this camera centered on the main attraction here, the one that everyone's here to see. Got to make sure that I'm centered. All
In
right.
the beginning, there was
Shut
baseball.
the fuck up! You don't get to do that. That note, in the beginning, there was baseball. It is Tuesday, April 28th. I am CJ. I am here with Evan and Michael. This is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game, bitch. How are you guys
This is
doing?
27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game. Welcome, everyone. We're here with Michael today.
And this is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game.
How we doing, guys?
Good, I guess.
Fantastic, man.
All right, well, that's the show. Goodbye, everyone.
Tell us about that.
So, yeah, interesting week. I'm back in the rotation for travel, so I got to take a commercial flight, rent a car, and stay at a hotel this week. It's been very interesting when you take your life and you literally put it in the hands of a bunch of strangers, and you hope that they wash their hands and don't touch shit and, you know, don't have the Rona and come out of their house, and you just cross your fingers and you hope when I get home in a couple of days, I go, well, that wasn't that bad. Maybe life can get back to normal. So,
Nice.
It's been unreal, man. I was in the Atlanta airport, which usually you can't walk through without rubbing shoulders with everybody, and I was the only person in the entire terminal. It's crazy.
Yep.
That's gotta be
Shout
awesome.
out to Atlanta Airport. They're awesome on Twitter, by the way.
They have been hanging out with us on Twitter all day. You make a post and tag them, and they're hitting you back with a meme or a gift or very interactive.
We got like 7 dance gifts today. They're having a party because there's no one in the airport.
And
You
it
must have been
started
through
with
security so fast.
we asked them if they were really working because I tagged them in something, and they sent me an ad for like half-price parking, and I was like, what's that bullshit? Where's the real person? And then that was it, man. They were on board all day.
Yeah.
Nice.
How about you guys? How's your weekend?
What?
Yeah.
I did not hear a word you just said.
I said, how is your week going?
Oh, you know, it's going. Still doing my thing, working from home, like all of us kind of hopefully are. You know, all of us being all of us listeners. I hope everyone's at least getting the opportunity to do that. That's really the best thing that you could do. That's the best situation you could be in, is at least you get to have a job and at least you get to be in the safety of your own home.
Yeah, CJ finally got a job at Instacart as a driver, so thank God for this pandemic, or CJ would still be out of work.
Yeah, and Evan's still got his glory hole going. So if you're ever on the side of the road and you're driving down the 95, the number that says if you want to see the tiniest penis you've ever seen, that's Evan. So dial his number.
My mother listens to this. Jesus Christ.
Listen.
My joke was nice and calm. His joke just all over the place.
I thought you were going to make like a, hey, I'm going to Instacart a bunch of hot dogs to his house. And you just went, meow.
Hey, man.
Yep.
She's lucky she hasn't seen my wang yet. I usually flash
He
that
tries
on.
to take it out every episode.
We have some big news this week. We got a Passan bomb midweek, a little baseball coming back. Who wants to talk about that?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, he said baseball will be back in 2020 and then wrote a whole bunch of shit about it. And they haven't really figured out the who, what, where, why, and when, but it's coming back.
I'm pretty sure I said that multiple times, that we should calm down because baseball was going to be played this year. And I made the point that it was going to be played because man shits has to save face and he has to save money for all these owners. They're losing billions of dollars.
I also figured baseball would be back this year. At no point did I think that this was going to shut down for the entire season. I mean, this is going to go well into May, possibly April. I mean, possibly April, possibly June. But like, how long do people expect this to really go on for? Until October? I mean, that's not what the data is showing. And the data actually does show that infections are getting slower and slower. Data is also showing that higher temperatures are causing the virus to kind of slow down a bit. I think baseball is going to be back. I've said it possibly every week for the past 5 weeks. July. I think July we'll be seeing some games.
What I saw was – go ahead, Evan.
No, you go ahead. I'll speak after you.
I was going to say I saw late May, early June, and then I also saw that they said it might just be a giant tournament that takes 60 days. You start your own division, 2 teams come out of there, you go in your own conference, and they play this thing all the way to a World Series that finishes on November 29th.
Jeez.
I think we will at least know what the plan is moving forward by, mid-May to June. And I think that they said they want to give at least a month to the players before they come back so that they can do their training and all that other stuff. So I think we'll probably know by the end of May, early June what's going to happen, and then we'll see baseball by July, hopefully.
Yeah, NBA said May 8th they're going to start opening practice facilities and letting players come back and start training. So that's the first major, sport big step there.
Yep.
What are you watching today?
Heavyweights.
Yeah, I knew I saw Ben Stiller back there.
Probably his best role as the villain in Heavyweights. He was so good.
Heavyweights, and I love I think Dodgeball is one of his best movies.
Yeah, Dodgeball was one of his best. Tropic Thunder
They're the same character.
Tropic Thunder. Now, you know what's crazy? You couldn't even have made Tropic Thunder today. Robert Downey Jr. is the only guy in the history of the world to do blackface and it'd be okay.
Well, and Justin Trudeau, but we're not going to get into that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Ben Stiller. I don't think I can name a bad movie that he was even in.
He's very underrated and he's very versatile. Go look at the movie The Watch. He plays a completely different character than all of his other movies, so I liked it.
Something About Mary, iconic.
Yep.
I even like Along Came Polly. That's a good movie too.
Great movie. All right, let's get focused back on this. So the other big news that I saw in here, which is really sad, is they said the chance of a minor league season happening is probably over now.
Yeah.
Yeah, minor league baseball ends a month before Major League Baseball does. There really isn't much of a need for them to play the season, considering it's really only about getting the players ready for the majors. And if they're only going to be playing for like a couple months, what's the point? They're going to warm up, they're going to get to a mid-season form, and then what? They're going to have a month left to go?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah. It's kind of sad, man, especially for those kids. Baseball's baseball, and I love minor league baseball. We have teams where I live in Florida. Places where I travel have teams. I love the Arizona Fall League. I go out and visit my mom in Arizona. I love the Arizona Fall League out there. That's twice I've mentioned today. So shout out to Michael's mom. I'm telling you, man, she's one of our biggest fans. She'll be listening tonight.
That's awesome. Now she likes me more than CJ, so that's great. Hi, Mom.
Hey, man. That's fine. I mean,
she texted as soon as she finished last week. She goes, "That was your best one yet." Until the guys started talking about hobos spitting in each other's mouths. She goes, "You lost me."
Yes, I forgot I even said that. That's amazing.
She did not.
Bro, stop offending Michael's mother. Damn it.
She is a saint.
Listen,
she's lovely. She's a lovely woman.
Someone's got to bring the shock value, man. I don't know what to tell you.
You're doing a good job. Let's talk about what's behind you today.
Yeah, so I'm with my boy George back here. He's given the Yankees a lesson on how to win the World Series faster. Apparently, winning in 6 is not good enough for him.
I don't even think Seinfeld was as successful as it was without the Steinbrenner and Costanza working for the Yankees. Danny Tartable, like all those storylines made it so great, and then so relatable to someone like me who was younger then, but you could tie in the Yankees, and it made it so relatable.
Yeah.
The way he got the job was absolutely brilliant and hysterical. He just talked shit to Steinbrenner. Yeah.
So I was going to say something, and now I forgot what. So
no one cares.
This is great radio, isn't it?
It was probably offensive.
Yeah, you know what, Evan? I'm going to tell you something. You can stick your face right in my butt crack. How does that sound?
We might have to ask Joe for an edit on that one.
No, I like it. We're keeping it.
His mom.
So, you know what else I want to talk about while we're rolling? Remember last week we were talking about people who blocked me, and I was so hurt. One of them was Kyle. Kyle followed me back, man. I tagged him in this.
Hey, look at that.
He gave me the file back. I gave him the file back. And then Evan defended Paul Black. And Evan, what happened to you and Paul Black this week?
I blocked him because he's a crazy nut.
So,
if you're going to have a conversation with someone on Twitter, can you shut the hell up and let them respond to your first tweet instead of sending 7 more tweets?
I have a message. I have a message from Paul Black, actually.
I don't care.
Because listen, no, shut the fuck up.
I care.
Because I tweeted today in what is probably the first time in weeks. And Paul Black gave me some advice. First, he told me there's a pandemic going on to stay home because I stumbled out of my cave. Then he says, please tell Evan he's a pussy for blocking me. So, listen, just the messenger. Just the messenger. I'm not here to –
Funny.
Don't get mad at me.
No, I'm not mad at you. It's funny because I blocked him because I no longer want to deal with his bullshit. It has nothing to do with being a pussy. You constantly pick fights for no fucking reason.
All right, okay, so
and then
Twitter
you're
drama.
telling me that you want to have a conversation. I have the conversation with you, and you send me 7 goddamn messages before I respond to one.
I'm sorry, everyone. Let's get back on track because I don't think this was kind of my fault. I shouldn't have read that. It was fucking hilarious.
It was
fucking hilarious.
So
right,
no, dude. He accused me of some kind of political affiliation.
Right.
I have never once talked politics in my life. I don't give a shit about politics. I'm not political. So shut the fuck up, Paul Black. You're a fucking idiot. Don't watch our show. I don't want you to. Fuck you.
This is simultaneously awesome radio and terrible radio. I don't know how we managed.
I feel like we're going to get a couple more viewers based just on Evan's rant. Other big news this week, if you want to steer the ship, we had an NFL draft, a virtual draft.
The draft was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. I was surprised it went as smoothly as it did.
The highlight was Frozone making an appearance, and Matt LaFleur's house. Whose house? Well, no, it was Mike Vrabel's house. Mike Vrabel's house. Someone was dressed up as Frozone. What a beautiful moment that was.
What about his kid? His kid was taking a shit with the bathroom open.
Kid was taking a dump. Yep, that's right. On the air. No fucks given. No fucks given. Why wouldn't I wish I could have that kind of energy. Even I can't do that.
I could probably pull that off.
I don't even have the balls to just take a Duke on fucking national television.
I don't ever want to watch a draft again live. I want them all to be virtual. I like seeing people's houses. Who was the guy who got drafted and his girlfriend tried to grab his phone and he snatched it out of her hand?
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb. That was fantastic. That you can't make up TV that good. That clip went viral instantly.
He's got a million memes now because of it. It's hilarious.
That was even better than Quinnen Williams sneezing, blessing himself, and then thanking himself. That was even better than that.
I always overlooked the Jets, so.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Jets,
I liked all the Jets picks.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. They started off really, really well. They addressed the immediate needs that they needed to address in the first 2 rounds. They took care of the more important need first. They went into a really good need second. I thought that Mims was a really, really good selection in the second round.
I thought it was genius to trade down and still get Mims and then get the extra pick and turn into a backup quarterback, which we never had. I mean, we had no.
I'm actually going to say that was the wasted pick. I feel like that was unnecessary for them to do.
Yeah.
There's no need to draft a backup quarterback if you're the Jets, and to burn it in what was that, the 4th round, I believe, to burn a 4th round pick for a backup quarterback that you don't need. I just didn't get that.
Okay.
That's the part that pissed me off a lot because you had 3 really good position players there sitting, waiting for us. You had Amik Robertson, you had Troy Dye, and you had one other guy who I really liked. And we ended up getting Bryce Hall in the 5th round, which I think is a steal considering he dropped because of injuries. But I really did not like the quarterback pick. It makes sense now. He's a smart guy who, will learn, or I guess. But they've already said they're going to sign a backup anyway.
Yeah, Hall had a 2nd round grade. I really liked him. I liked getting him stealing him in that 5th round, but not for nothing. You remember our quarterback situation last year? I like having a young quarterback we could develop.
Well,
yeah,
why
I
did
guess
we-
so.
why did we-
But I mean, Darnold, he got mono. It's not like he got some kind of a. It's not like he's injury prone. Like, it's not like you need to have the sec. I understand. So here's the thing: if it was the Eagles doing that, and forget about them drafting Jalen Hurts, I thought that was kind of dumb too. But if we're talking about the Eagles in the 4th round going after a backup quarterback, I can see that. I could understand that. What I don't understand is getting that backup quarterback for someone like Darnold, who hasn't really shown a need for us to really go after someone else who's young to develop.
But also, weren't there better quarterback options on the board at the time, like the guy from Georgia or whatever, Frome, who went to?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I don't
So
know. I
that
don't think he was.
That guy was at the Senior Bowl, and everybody talked the world of him. They said he was the most impressive quarterback there. If Joe Douglas liked him and that was Joe Douglas's guy, he didn't want Fromm for whatever reason. And until Joe Douglas proves me wrong, I believe in JD, man. You know, to me, he's the adult in the room, and we haven't had this in so long.
It is his first draft for the Jets.
Still scarred by John Izek, you know.
Yeah, Izek was awful. McCagnon wasn't that great either. McCagnon had the one good move in
Brendan Marshall. That was a steal for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought our first 3 rounds were perfect.
More about draft picks. I'm blanking out on. He had one really smart.
You know,
move. Never mind. I lost it. It's gone.
We got Sam Darnold.
Yes, Sam Darnold fell into the Jets' laps. On Ape could have picked Sam Darnold.
Yeah. At least we didn't. I thought we were going D-line this year. I mean, we've done it for, 10 years in a row? Just get a nose guard every draft.
Right. Yeah, it was getting kind of annoying. I mean, hey, I'll also say that I really, really like one of the more underrated things that happened on draft day was when they traded that 6th rounder for Nate Hairston. I mean, that guy's starting caliber, and they got him for a 6th rounder.
Yep.
Coming off a bad year, but 2 years ago played really well. I think that was a steal too, man. I think we had a good draft, and obviously with every draft, you never know until 2 years from now what we really got. But the potential's there, and I think on paper we came out a much better team than we went into it. And that's all you can ask as a Jets fan.
Yeah.
I think we actually got the best offensive tackle for us. This guy's Becton. He's 6'7", 360 pounds. He's the biggest of the 4.
Yep. Moves people like men move furniture, just throwing bodies. I've been watching his highlights. It's addictive just watching him toss grown men around.
Yeah, he was one of the 4 that you mentioned. I really liked Andrew Thomas, and I forget who the other one was.
Thomas was a pipe dream.
Yeah, I like Thomas and Willis
he was
Jr.
the most established.
Yeah, 4-year starter. I mean, the guy was really, really good. Of course he was going to go early.
But then I saw Becton's size. I love a 6'7", 360. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. And then, we got the guard from, was it Charlotte, who's big too? And, again, man, Joe Douglas, if he knows anything, it's offensive lineman. So I'm gonna trust him with the offensive lineman until I don't. Everybody wanted Joe Douglas to be their GM for years, and I think we got lucky by finally convincing him to take a deal. And he took a 6-year deal because he knew he couldn't fix this mess overnight.
Yep. Joe, you had a question? Yo, what's up?
You wanted to give big ups to a friend of ours who had a big week.
Yeah, our buddy Chris at Ball 9, I think is his website. It's about to launch soon. So you got to check it out. We might be featured on that. We still need to talk to him about it, but that would be exciting. And he had a huge interview with David Wells, so that was really cool. David Wells, who blocked me and unblocked me. So go check out that interview. It's all over Twitter, and I'm sure it's going to be on the website once it finally launches. It says it's going to launch in April, but we're almost out of April, so who knows? Chris has been saying that for a while. Shout out to Chris Vitale.
Great dude, great Twitter account. I met him a couple months ago. He's been nothing but kind to me. We share a lot of our, I send any food I make, I send him a picture. He sends me. The interview's great. Watch it. It's like 2 dudes who know each other for years talking baseball. And again, it's his first one for the website. It's a big win. So yeah, shout out to Chris Vitale. And we got a question from Joe today. I'm so excited because he didn't tell us what it is.
Yeah,
All
before
right.
we get to that, though, hold on, Joe.
All right.
This is Chris, who used to be on 27 Down. He's so busy with his own website. That's why Michael is here. Michael's the new Chris, basically.
Wow.
Diet Chris over here.
Wow.
Chris, but with Splenda.
You're both chefs, so.
Good value, Chris.
Okay, Joe. Question.
All right.
Go.
All right. We all know that all these leagues have their favorite players, right? Like they got the guy that they love to put on the commercials. They love to put on the video games. They love to – what are you giving me that look for? That Can you guys hear me? Anyway. So, most overrated player in the MLB and most underrated. The guy that you see too much of. Oh, he's already got it. I was going to say the guy you see too much of that probably doesn't deserve it, and the guy you want to see more of, basically.
I'm going last this time. I went first last time.
Evan, you go first because you already said it.
Yeah, Bryce Harper and Manny Pucciato. They both suck. They're terrible. They're pain in the ass. How many years did it take Bryce to get to 100 RBIs? Like 6 or something? He's terrible. And he's on the Phillies team. Maybe this year he'll actually.
RBIs are a shitty way of measuring baseball players. Just going to throw that out there.
I didn't go over all his other stats, dude. He talks like he's the greatest guy ever, and they didn't even need him to win a World Series. The second he leaves, they win it with good pitching. Strasburg got the deal that Harper couldn't get because he's the better player for that team.
So underrated.
DJ LeMahieu. He's not in anything, and he should be.
God, that's so hard to answer because he took answers that I absolutely would have given. So what do you got, CJ?
Overrated, I'm going to go with I might go with Bregman for overrated. They were talking about him winning MVP last year. And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? He's a very good player. I wouldn't put him in the category of, like, insanely elite like a Trout would be.
He's not even Nolan Arendo.
Right, or Arenado, for that matter.
I was waiting for that.
So, you know what I meant.
Underrated, I'm going to go with Yohan Moncada. I think he's a very
Johan Santana?
Moncada.
Santana.
I'm confused. What?
Johan Santana from the Mets?
Oh, here we go with this shit.
Oh,
again.
God damn it, Joe.
Yeah, you mean the guy that never actually got a no-hitter? Yeah, that guy. No, I'm talking about Yohan Moncada. The guy is really good. I mean, he gets a lot of hate because he's not this stellar elite player yet, but he's a very, very good player. And he's young. He's going to get even better. I think he's kind of falling victim to the hype that came from when he signed with the Red Sox all those years ago.
Yeah, that's what it is. And that hype stays for a while for some odd reason.
But he is extremely good. All you hear is people just crap on him.
I think the White Sox won that trade.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so, too.
All right, I'm going to go underrated. And it's kind of hard to call this guy underrated because he got a big contract, but I just feel like he's underappreciated, and that's Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer, like when everybody talks about pitchers, it's like Kershaw and, all these. Nobody ever talks about Max Scherzer. If I could take one guy I want on the mound for a Game 7, I'm taking him in. That guy's got ice in his veins. He doesn't want to come out. He pitches he had the hurt back in the World Series, and he got up and he pitched, dominated. He's just a beast, man. I love Max Scherzer. I'll watch any Max Scherzer game.
Cool. What about overrated?
Oh, I would have said I hate Bryce Harper. Machado's overrated too. God, anybody on I think you're going to find out the Bregmans, the Altuves, the Springers, the Reddicks. They're all going to have these down years if we play this year. So you could say any of those guys too. Overrated.
I think Correa's
overrated.
overrated.
Changes every year.
All right, you're all right.
I'd throw in Correa.
You all win something.
That's one more victory than the Mets are going to have this year.
Well, I was just going to go with Yankees are overrated, Mets are underrated.
Right behind me, just banging.
Trash can.
I would say also overrated would be Cespedes' legs. I would say that those are overrated.
No. Those
Because
are the
you can't round the bases once without getting
Yasiel
hurt.
Puig's potential is overrated.
watch Cespedes
Puig-
this year. Watch
Yasiel
Cespedes.
Puig was never going to sustain what he did in his rookie year.
Cespedes
about
was
Yomani
made for the
Tomas?
40-game season.
Oh, yeah, him too, man. You know, but again, that's what's crazy about baseball. If DJ LeMahieu has a down year, you know, we're gonna be talking about somebody like him. And I love DJ. I'm just saying, baseball. It's a what have you done for me lately, year to year thing. And people have great years, you know, fall off, and sometimes you never hear from them again. You know, we didn't talk about today. Did you guys see the Players Tribune news? Really, really, really shitty. I mean, good story that he got to come out. The guy who has stage 3 colon cancer.
Trey Mancini.
Mancini.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
horrible, man.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. He's one of your just like nice guy, good. You know, you can't say a bad thing about him. I read it this morning while I was drinking my coffee. It just sucks.
Yeah, he said
nobody
his
deserves
season's
that.
likely over because he needs to focus on treatment and all that stuff. So
Nothing but the best, man.
I always
Yeah,
thought
hopefully
he
he
was
comes
going to
back.
have huge potential and be something special. So it really sucks to not get to see him.
Yeah, God, imagine being. Or I mean, what else can go wrong with the Orioles? You can't get a fucking break anywhere.
At least they got Chris Davis.
Chris Davis, yo. He might break out.
His
He might
contract,
break
what's he
out
got?
this year.
19 years left in his contract.
I think, guys,
22.
honestly, I think this is Chris Davis's year. I think this is the year he finally, you know, returns to form. And hey, let's put it like this.
To get his first hit.
Let's put it like this.
No, I don't know if you remember this, but I was at Smith Stadium at one of the last games before they canceled baseball, and he was batting like 800 in spring training this year.
Yeah, that's cool. Greg Bird did that a few times.
Every year Greg Bird did that, except this year with Texas. He was like under 200.
Yeah, it's time for him to retire from Grapefruit League. I'll say this about Davis. At least since the season's going to be shorter, he can't have like a super negative WAR, so he's going to be closer to 0. So that's kind of a win for him.
Still, silver lining there. There's silver lining on the clown.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Well, I usually like to give a couple thank yous to people. I have a couple this week. There is Chrissy, who is at iHeart the NYYS, and Judy Ashburn at JCA53057. They've been super supportive of the cooking show every week. They subscribed and they follow, and they're always commenting. They've actually made some suggestions. You already shouted out the Atlanta airport at ATL Airport, and we talked about Chris. So my closing thing is going to be, you know, there's one more person who I found out blocked Evan this week. It's Steve with the Italian flag, American flag. Come back, Steve. Steve's a nice
I love
guy.
Steve. I had no problem with Steve.
I'm gonna.
I don't know why Steve doesn't like me.
Evan, you remember that time that you shouted a whole bunch of Kyles, just a bunch of Kyles? And
Yeah,
then,
I got blocked by 2 of them.
Yeah,
It was
but
like-
episode
it was like-
1. It was
it was like,
episode
thank-
1.
Yeah, I think
First episode, he's like, I just want to say real quick, like, Kyle 1, you're awesome. Like, Kyle 2, thanks so much. And then they blocked him.
yeah. He was like, I want to thank.
We have
I wanna
one
thank-
Kyle left.
Yeah, he's like, I want to thank
just
all
wanna
the
remind
Kyles.
I just want to remind you that he defended Paul last week, and he wound up having to block him. So come back, Steve. Come back.
Bro, I had to block Paul because he just would keep talking. You don't let me.
I should have never brought it up. He's gonna go
God
off.
damn
again.
it. Now I'm pissed off again. This is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game. See you guys next week. Or no, Thursday. Whatever.
See you Thursday.